Hello.
Hey.
Tyson Roseburg, Coldwater Police Department.
What's your reason to believe I don't have a license to not wear a seatbelt? Because you need a reason to believe that. In order to believe that that crime has occurred, you'd have to believe I don't have a license to not wear a seatbelt. You'd have to have a reason to believe that.
Right.
Did you know the law doesn't apply to everyone? You have to believe that you did see a crime occurred or that one will occur, and you can't base that on papers. You know, they give people the right to not wear a seatbelt, give them papers, and then they stop people for not wearing it. So they're stopped to check papers. They're violating people's rights, and people don't realize it, and even cops don't realize it, that they're actually stopped to check papers.
I realize that a lot of people don't want to wear their seatbelt, and I feel like adults should have that choice, but I don't think the children, small children, I feel like they should have to have one.
And I even agree with that, too, the fact that a kid can do all kinds of dangerous things, so you know, I could see that being like a danger.
Right.
Even then, you shouldn't stop them, because that kid could be disabled in some way and not be able to wear a seatbelt.
That is true.
You have no idea. That kid could be exempt from the law. It still depends on papers, whether or not the crime has even occurred.
The way the law reads, state law says that you must be wearing a seatbelt. So therefore, if we see you not wearing a seatbelt, we don't know if you have papers. When the officer approaches and figures out that you do have papers, it should just be a matter of, well, I'm sorry I bothered you.
But you should never stop anyone because you have no idea whether or not they have proper papers. It's the same thing as stopping someone to check whether or not they have a driver's license. Unless you have a reason to believe they don't have one, then you don't have a reason to believe that the crime is committed. They say everyone has to. Well, everyone has to have a driver's license. Just because you see someone driving doesn't mean you see them breaking the law and you have to check whether or not they have a license. Just because you see someone with a seatbelt off doesn't mean you saw a crime. And once you see a crime that they can't have papers for, like speeding or anything else, then you can stop them, then you check their papers. Besides the fact that we should have a freedom to choose and we can do way more dangerous and harmful things, and it's ridiculous. The reason it's a crime is because of car companies. In 1980, they were told they had to put airbags in every car. Instead, they paid over $200 million to legislatures to pass seatbelt laws. And at first they told people, you aren't going to be stopped for it and you won't be fined for it. We'll just tell you you should be doing this. And then they're slowly increasing it. In some states it's up to $150. Maximum here is 10. Maximum in Oklahoma is 20. But it's just interesting how
it's $10 here unless you're under the age of 18, and then it's $60.
Yeah. But it's just interesting how they keep pushing it further and further. I appreciate your time.
All right, I appreciate you.